What's up, y'all? I'm gonna let y'all come on. Uh, Today we're gonna talk about distractions. You know, let me go live on IG. Let me get situated first. Let me get situated first. What's up, King Tabernacle? What's up, Deshaunay? What's up, Goddess Navi? What's up, Doug? Y'all on IG? Hold on. What's up, Anthem Fox? So today I wanted to talk about distractions. And I'm hearing folks talk about distractions, but it's kind of it's without context. Like, my question is, what are we being distracted from? What are we being distracted from? Is my question. Um, we have 270 million people in America that took the snake bite, and we got 5 billion worldwide that took the snake bite. And the CDC just added the snake bite to your child's shot schedule. So my question is, if Kanye is a distraction, what is he distracting us from? Because clearly we haven't done anything to stop this stuff. There hasn't been a collective movement to stop anything that's going on. So what are we being distracted from? I'm just asking. What are we being distracted from? What is Kanye saying that has people putting their head in the sand? What is Kanye saying that has people not focusing on what's important? I don't get it. So I just feel like anybody that's speaking to you, if they're telling you the truth, that's all they owe you. And it's your job to take that truth and roll with it. That was the problem with Donald Trump. Donald Trump was telling the truth, but all the media was against him. So now a person has to make a decision. Do I listen to the truth, or do I focus on the media and what to tell me about this person? And so many people got led astray because they were focused on Donald Trump and not what he was saying. But that's a bad habit, though. That's a bad habit for someone to have, is where you qualify the truth based on the person. In the Bible, God had a burning bush talk. In the Bible, God had a donkey talk. So at the end of the day, you trying to qualify the truth based on the person is what got us in this position today. Because people are comfortable with getting the truth from the people that they like. But the folks that y'all like will never tell you the truth. The people that you like out here are never going to tell you the truth. Anybody that's going to tell you the truth, they're going to make you not like them. So when it comes to Kanye, he's crazy. When it comes to Trump, he's racist. Notice that everybody telling you the truth, you don't like them. It's a setup. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who's giving you the truth. Your job is to know the truth, because the truth is what's going to set you free. So if Kanye is talking and if what Kanye is saying is making you cut your brain off, then guess what? You are lamb for the slaughter anyway. If Kanye West is making you put your head in the sand, you are a slaughter You are a lamb for the slaughter anyway. What's up, baptized? What's up? Oh, Lenip. I know you from Instagram. I don't want to say it wrong. But all I'm saying is this. All these folks out here that are talking, even when it comes to Andrew Tate, Piers Morgan said, you're dangerous because young men listen to you. You understand how insane that is? He said, you're dangerous because young men listen to you. So what are they telling you? How is someone dangerous because they have an audience? This is a problem. Because what they're going to tell you in the future is if you have a following, you're automatically bad. That's the setup of all this. The setup is if you have a following, you're automatically bad, whether you're telling the truth or not. It's going to be irrelevant. That person has a following and it goes against this one world government. And it goes against this one world government. I need to get some better lights. I'm going to get a camera and everything. Somebody said IG nuked me yesterday. What's up, Mimi? What's up, Natalie? Lisa? So at the end of the day, what I'm telling you all is that everybody that you like to hear speak, and I'm not talking about on social media and YouTube. I'm talking about in mainstream media. The people that you like listening to are never going to tell you the truth. They only have the cachet with you because they've been feeding you lies. The truth for most people is like a child not wanting, when I was coming up, I did not like peas. I did not like peas. Ooh, I hated peas. So many of you all was like, I remember being at the table, dinner table, and the only thing left was the peas. Oh, the peas were so disgusting. Now I don't mind peas, but disgusting. But my point is that that's how most folks are with the truth. So because the truth can set you free, think about this. Because the truth can set you free, then that means they can't allow you to accept the truth. They can give you the truth, but the accepting part is what's going to be the problem. So what I'm telling you all is they give somebody that you don't like, that you hate, racist, crazy, whatever, and they let them tell you the truth because they know your emotions will override what is right, which listen to the truth. It's just such a masterful psychological game. I watched for 4 years. For 4 years, I watched the media do an onslaught against Donald Trump. I'm talking about a literal onslaught every day, all day, 24/7 against Trump. I saw it. But guess what? Everything they do is strategic. So they programmed you to get that constant media feed of Trump, and then they switched it on you, and then they brought in the Peter pandemic. Then they gave you the Peter pandemic every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You see what just happened? They're conditioning you for what you're experiencing now. This is what they do. That's why they call it predictive programming. So everybody called Donald Trump a dictator. But clearly, Donald Trump was not a dictator. So that was a lie. Who's actually a dictator? Joe Biden. Notice how everything they accuse Donald Trump of being, Joe Biden actually is. Think about this. The media spent 4 years lying on Trump. Now that Joe Biden's actually doing what they said Trump was doing, now they're silent. This is psychological warfare at its finest, and even the best of us still succumb to it. Even the best of us still succumb to it. And when you're talking to people, they don't really give you contextual arguments. People say, well, Trump is this, Trump is that, Biden this, Biden is that. Listen, these are people, so they have flaws, right? So all I can base these people off of, if I can't hold them to a standard of being perfect and they're human, quote unquote, even though Biden might be a lizard, all you really got to go by is what they actually do. Because even nowadays, even if I say something, somebody can chop a video up and make me sound crazy. So you got to look at what a person's actually doing. And at the end of the day, what they're programming you all for is for you all to not have a voice or have a following. This is what they're setting you up for, because they know in these end times, folks are going to want to rebel. So when we talk about Kanye West being a distraction, what is he distracting you from? If he gets on a platform and says, "We are the Jews," what should you do? Most black folks are going to say, "Man, he crazy." But smart people will say, "Let me at least look into it. Whether it's true or not, let me look into it." That's why the Bible says, "Study to show thyself approved." Why? Because you knowing what's going on is a character trait. You are a bad person if you don't want to know what's going on. If a person tells me, "I don't care about policy," you're a bad person. If a person tells me, "I don't care if he said the truth," you're a bad person. Because you should want to know. And the folks that don't want to know, the folks that don't want to be in the know are bad people, because they plan on being something bad they don't want to be held accountable for. That's why folks don't want to know. So anybody running around here talking about Kanye this, Kanye that, y'all have not tried to cancel all these shows on TV that's spewing propaganda. Y'all have not tried to cancel the Shade Room spewing propaganda. How could Kanye West be worse than the Shade Room? I'll tell you, because the Shade Room doesn't promote you knowing. The Shade Room promotes you being entertained. That's a difference. And what Kanye is saying right now is uncomfortable, because it's making you evaluate yourself. That's why folks are upset, because you have to look in the mirror. And what they're telling you is, because it's Kanye, it's not valid. I just said in the Bible, God made a bush talk. A burning bush was speaking. Imagine you walking by and someone is talking to a bush that's burning. You can't hear nothing, but you hear them talking, having a full conversation. You're going to think they're crazy. But you thinking them crazy is the total opposite of it literally being God speaking through a bush. That's how far off most people are. You got divine revelation right in front of your face, and you're talking about it's a distraction. I'm going to go look at what? You're going to go do what? Investigate? Study? These people in these positions put Kanye over everywhere, because guess what? You're not going to be able to say you didn't know the truth. That's why he's on all these platforms, because you're not going to be able to say you didn't know the truth. These people play a wonderful game that's going to have them absolved of what they're doing, because you had a choice. And on Judgment Day, you're going to be telling God, "I didn't have a choice. They forced me. I was oppressed. Life was hard." And they're going to play the tape back. And when they play the tape back, you're already going to start walking, because you know you ain't going to heaven. When they play that tape back, you're already going to start walking away, because you know you're not going to heaven, because it will be a lie. Just because you don't like Kanye or respect Kanye doesn't mean he's lying. Just because you don't like me or respect me, it doesn't mean I'm lying. So you got to make a decision where I separate my emotions and my insecurities from the truth. Y'all have made the truth conditional, and that's the problem. Y'all have made the truth conditional, and that is the problem, but that's a trick of the enemy. That's why when Satan was talking to Eve told Satan what God told her. You don't believe me? Hold on. Watch this. I'm gonna show you all how they've used the truth against you. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you how they use the truth as a weapon, because Satan, believe it or not, if y'all was to ever meet the devil, he's not gonna lie to you. He ain't gonna lie to you, because guess what? You know when somebody's lying. Everybody knows when somebody is lying. So lying can't be the means to deceive you. They have to use the truth. They told you the snake bite protects against the virus, right? Who said CV-19 was a virus? If it's a virus, then why is the name changed? Why the name change? Why is it different? Why is it linked to gain of function? If it's such a normal thing, why is there so much controversy around something that's normal? Why they never isolated the quote unquote virus under a microscope? You mean to tell me we done shut the world down for something that y'all haven't actually seen? But they told you this. They told you we've never seen this. We've never actually seen it, but we know it's doing all of this stuff. Now, these same scientists and doctors will tell you they don't believe in faith. But somehow, when it came to this, everybody had faith. We've never seen it, but we believe it. So they're telling you already right now that it's not a virus. They told you. We ain't even seen it. We don't know what it is. Okay. But they do know that we're emotional, we're insecure, we're self-centered, egotistical, narcissists. We all these things. So they know all they got to do is show us the truth and just package it different. They're letting Kanye go around and talk all this stuff so that you all can't say you didn't know. Y'all don't get that yet. Y'all focused on Kanye and not what he's saying. Y'all focused on Trump and not what he was saying. Trump literally told y'all, if Biden gets in office, China is going to own us. If Biden gets in office, China is going to own us. Oh, he just racist. Oh, Trump is foolish. He's stupid. Now you got Joe Biden working behind the scenes with Russia, with China. You heard what Kamala Harris said. North Korea, they're our friends. They're telling y'all the truth, but you caught up. So you tell yourself, oh, Kamala just stupid. Kamala just dumb. Kamala said in the future, we're going to be having wars over water. She said it. But guess what? Kamala dumb. She useless. You made it about the person and not what they said. Do you understand why emotions are dangerous? That's why in the Bible, God never asked anybody how they felt. You know why? Because God knows the moment that God asks you how you feel, you're going to give him an excuse. That's why God gives commandments. You already have a choice. You can choose yay, you can choose nay. You already got a choice. That's why God gives commandments. Because if God didn't give commandments, that means God will be complicit in your bad choices, because you're going to make a bad choice. I told somebody, I said, they asked Donald, I said, have y'all ever watched a Donald Trump press conference? He gets asked 1,000 questions at a time. We never saw Bush go through that. We never saw Clinton go through that. We never saw Barack go through that. And we sure ain't seen Biden go through that, because Biden can't even talk. All you got to do is just go back and look at press conferences from all the presidents, and then go look at Trump's. You're going to be like, these folks are asking him literally 1,000 questions at one time. And so folks will say, well, he should be able to handle it. Who? We haven't even seen a standard of president to be able to handle that. No leader gets asked that many questions in a press conference. Nowhere in the world. They asked Joe Biden, how did the ice cream taste? How was your bike ride today? They asking Trump, if we were to take an excavation and go to Pluto, how long would it take based on it? They asked him all kind of crazy questions. But guess what? They were setting y'all up. They were setting y'all up. Now y'all are conditioned. Now y'all are conditioned. See, now Joe Biden is literally everything they told you Trump was. So what they did, they just prepared you for Joe Biden. That's all. They just prepared you for Joe Biden. That's all they did. So now Joe Biden doing all this crazy stuff, and you all are calm about it because you think subconsciously you already went through it with Trump, but you didn't. They just conditioned you. We had a record low poverty rate among Black and brown people in America, 2019 census, a record low. That means the lowest poverty rate it ever was in history of America was in 2019, and nobody said a word. Why not? Let's say everything's a setup. Let's say Trump the bad guy. Why wouldn't anybody mention the record low in poverty rate? Forget the mainstream media. Why didn't the content creators say it? Why didn't the woke folks say it? Why did the conservatives say it? Why didn't anybody talk about the record low in poverty rate between the Black and the brown community in the U.S.? You can look this up, census.gov. So what I'm telling you all, when you make it about the person, you're going to miss all the details. There's no nuance in following people. There's only nuance in following the truth. If you follow people, you'll be here today and there tomorrow. It is your job. It is your job. It is your job to know the truth and to accept it. But let's go to the truth. Now, the Bible says the devil is a liar because the truth isn't in him. So what the devil does is he's the father of lies because the devil gets us to lie. We're going to see right now what he told Eve, though. And I'm trying to teach you all to be unemotional. I'm not saying don't have emotions. Don't be emotional, meaning you don't let your emotions make a decision for you. That's the problem. People are emotional, meaning their emotions are making them make a decision. No, you got to look in the mirror and say, everything is my fault. Once you do that, it's going to free you up. I promise you. Everything is your fault. Once you do that, you have complete control over your life. If everything is not your fault, you're always going to look to somebody else to blame. And if somebody else to blame, that means they have control. So, but of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, thou shalt not eat of it. For in the day that thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die. Now, I want you to think about the tree of knowledge of good and evil. I want you to think for a second. Imagine knowledge of good and evil doesn't necessarily mean you know what's good, you know what's evil. No, that means you have a choice. The reason why God didn't want them to eat from the tree is because it wouldn't have been earned. They were supposed to earn the knowledge of good and evil, not take a fruit, bite it, and get it instantly. If you notice, the devil used this same trick now with everything being instantaneous. Fast food, fast Wi-Fi, everything comes in an instance now. Everything is fast. That goes back to the garden. God is like, there's a tree of knowledge and good and evil that's sitting here right here, but don't touch it. If you grab that fruit and eat it, you haven't prepared yourself or conditioned yourself to receive this fruit. Anything God does for us, he always prepares us for it. They were not prepared to know good and evil. That had to be earned, meaning that had to be learned. Thank you so much, the boat girl, for the, I don't know what it's called, a badge. Thank you so much. But, so that's why God didn't want to eat the fruit of the tree. But God's word is like a double-edged sword. So not only do we not eat from the tree, we actually develop discipline because the tree is there every day. So it's an everyday thing for us, not a one-day thing. Meaning the tree is there. I can not eat from the fruit a whole year and still have the option in year 2. So what I'm saying is the tree being there, you not touching it, is building up discipline. It's building up faith. It's building up your obedience. It's building up your love. All this stuff is a process. This is how God operates. The devil wants you to walk up to that tree, bite that fruit, and now you know everything. But guess what? You know and I know you're not equipped to handle everything. A lot of folks talking about, I'm going to open my third eye up. Man, if your third eye opened up, most of y'all would kill yourself. Could you imagine seeing what nobody else could see? You'd go crazy. My third eye, all them folks is lying. Because anybody got their third eye open is not looking calm, not living calm out here. They stressed. Imagine your third eye open and you can literally see what everybody else can't see. You'll go nuts. You ever see them folks talking to themselves on the side, on the street? You ever wonder if their third eye was open? You ever wonder who they talking to? You ever wonder, is it really somebody in there from another dimension? My third eye open. Y'all third eye ain't open. Ain't no way in the world your third. If y'all third eye was open, y'all wouldn't even want to be on this planet. These people are lying. I done had God speak to me and woke me out of my sleep. I done had God speak to me in the strip club. I done had God speak to me and shake me to the core. Ain't no way in the world I couldn't even imagine God speaking to me and then me actually seeing it every day. You go nuts. I was praying one morning and God told me, he gave me, is a young man in my vision, in my head. God said, go talk to him this morning. And I said, talk to him about what? Guess what? I got to one of the school sites. I didn't talk to him, right? Disobedient. And guess what happened? About a couple of minutes later, who I see walking by me in handcuffs? Who did I see walking by me in handcuffs? That young man. So what I'm telling y'all is all this third eye talk is BS. Because I know good and well, if your third eye is open, it comes with great responsibility. And most folks ain't got the character or discipline to even handle that. Because if y'all can't separate Kanye West from the truth, you're already doomed. So don't tell me about no third eye and no chakras. Thank you, Mimi, so much. Y'all so wonderful. Thank you. But let me go to, and the Lord God said, it is not good that man should be alone. I will make him a helpmeet for him. Then, hold on. Now I want to go to the next chapter. Okay, hold on. I want to get to the serpent talking. Okay. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, yeah, he had God said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. Now he's asking her a question. So didn't God say you could eat of that tree? Listen to me. The devil is not going to come to you and lie to you because you would know he was lying. So he goes to Eve and he says, now listen now, it said that he was more subtle than any of the beasts of the field. That subtle can mean a lot of things. That can mean he didn't even look like a beast of the field. That can mean he looked pleasant. That can mean he looked disarming. He looked harmless. So to get your defenses down. Like all your favorite people that you like. They're just so nice and so, like Kim Kardashian, she's so nice. She cries on TV. She's such a good person. And she calling up people to get your folks to get the snake bite. She calling, her and her mama calling people up to get black folks to take the snake bite. Kim Kardashian, but she's so nice, so subtle, so non-threatening. But you make it about the person, that's where you always fail. So Eve is looking at Satan as something that's non-threatening, almost beneath her. You know how we know he's beneath her? Because he comes to her and he asks her a question. Yea, have God said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? He's asking her a question. Did God say you can't eat of all these trees in the garden? Did God say that? And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God has said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. So the serpent is setting her up. He's asking her a question. So did God say you couldn't eat all these trees in the garden? Set up question. He ain't lying to this woman. He ain't lying to Eve. As soon as Satan would have said, God said you can eat all the fruits, eat all the trees, eat of all the trees, Eve would have knew he was lying. If the devil would have came to her and said, God told me you can eat all these trees, she would have knew he was lying. So he couldn't get her that way. He had to ask her a question. I told you all, the devil ain't going to say God don't love you. The devil's going to ask you, does God love you? The devil's going to say, based on what you've done in your life, based on all the wicked things you've done in your life, based on how many times you went to me over God, do you think God loves you? The devil's going to ask the question. He ain't going to tell you God don't love you because that'd be a lie. And you would know he was lying. Don't you understand that deceiving and deception is worse than a lie? Most folks know when people are lying. It's the deception that gets people. Thanks, Mimi. I got it. Thank you. But of the fruit of the tree, which is in the midst of the garden, God has said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall you touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. For God does know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. Now listen what he's saying now. Listen what he's saying. Ye shall not surely die is a play on words. The devil is saying, if you eat the fruit, you're not going to drop dead. He's not talking about eventually dying. He's talking about if you eat this fruit right now, you're not going to drop dead, which is true. She wouldn't have dropped dead. That's why he said, for God know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. What I'm telling you is that this is worse than lying. This is deception, because now she's entertaining him. She's listening to him. Now she's conflating who's talking to her and the truth. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, meaning he said, come see, come look. So look at this. Now keep in mind, I guarantee the devil is not touching none of this stuff. He's telling her, he said, now look, does that look good to eat? Isn't that fruit right? Isn't that fruit like all the other fruits, like it's good to eat? Now keep in mind that the tree was in the midst of the garden. I imagine the tree was separate from all the other trees to drive in the point of don't mess with the tree. But when Satan comes to you, Satan will always come with an obvious choice. It's always going to be obvious. It's not going to be something you got to scratch your head on. It's going to be obvious. It's going to be do what God said or follow what I say. It's going to be simple. And Satan knows he don't even have enough power. If you notice, all of the devil's tricks have to be through something. The devil himself can't move people. It has to be through. So meaning when the devil tempted Yeshua, he got to use bread, food, cities, the world. The devil himself can't do it. Because there's folks in the world most folks do stuff for the money or their ego or notoriety, pride over the devil. Folks ain't really out here serving Satan. Folks out here serving the world, and Satan uses the world to get people to obey to him. Because Satan can't do it himself. Just like in this situation, Satan ain't got no power. Satan got to use God's word. Satan got to use her mind. Satan got to use the tree. Satan got to use all this stuff to get her to get that fruit. But Satan alone couldn't do it because the truth ain't in him. So if Satan uses himself, he's gonna be spotted quickly. People won't listen to him. Thank you so much, Irita. Thank you. So what I'm telling you all is you got to learn how to separate the truth from the person. It is the truth by itself, and it's the person saying it. Who's telling you the truth should not move you anyway. It could be a homeless person telling you the truth, and it shouldn't move you because they're homeless. The truth is the truth. And when the woman saw the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eye, means it looked good, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. Notice the stages now. She didn't just grab the fruit. I told you the devil took her to the tree, and he said, look at this beautiful tree. Look at the leaves. Look at the fruit. Look at the flower. He telling her, look at this. And I imagine this tree probably was the best looking tree in the garden. It might have been the most beautiful tree in the garden. Most beautiful fruit. Fruit could have been glowing. We don't know. And she's looking like, dang, it does look good. It is beautiful. All these are truths. It is beautiful. It does look good to eat. It's all these things, but guess what? They can use the truth to deceive you. I don't think it was an apple, no. No. What's up, Nika's queen? So, look at the stages she went through now. She saw that the tree was good for food, 1. It was pleasant to the eye, 2. It was desired to make one wise, 3. And then she took of the fruit and ate it. So you went through 3 stages. Now, we all know if we sin, we don't just sin. We got to think about the sin first. So when it comes to sinning, it's the same thing. The sin looks what? Good to eat. And then it what? Looks pleasant to the eye. And then it what? It's going to make me wise. So, and they heard a voice of the Lord. Hold on. And the eyes of them both were open, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. And they heard the voice of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God amongst the trees of the garden. Now pay attention to this. Y'all might not agree with this, but I'm just tell you something. And they heard the voice of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of the day. Who is God's word? Who is God? Thank you so much, JR. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate it, JR. For this, I guess they super chats. Super. It's something super because it's glowing. Thank you, JR. Thank you so much. But what is God's word made flesh? Somebody said it. So I'm going to read it to you again. And they heard the voice of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of the day. Who is God's word able to walk? That's right, the Messiah. So we see that the Messiah was in the garden. Listen to me now. The Messiah showed up right after Adam and Eve sinned. Think about that. Think about that. Think about God's masterful plan and the Messiah showing up right after they sinned. I'm not talking about on the mountain on the cross. I'm talking about the Messiah showed up right after they sinned. Right after I'll read it again. So you're going to take my word for it. And they heard the voice of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God amongst the trees of the garden. So that means they saw the Messiah walking in the flesh in the garden. So now we ain't got to talk about the New Testament. We see in the Old Testament that the Messiah showed up in the garden right after they sinned. I think it's amazing to know that God loves us so much that God showed up immediately. God showed up for humanity immediately. So that means this plan that was in place in the New Testament was already a plan in place years before. But we can read it again. And they heard the voice of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of the day, and Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God amongst the trees of the garden. That means they saw the Messiah and he was calling out and they went and hid. This is the same thing. This is the same thing that we do today. We got the truth calling out to us. And what do most folks do? They run and hide. We got God calling out, and what do most folks do? They run and hide. When it comes to God, the phone is always ringing. When it comes to God, the phone is always ringing. It is our job to go pick the phone up. But these people out here convince you all that the truth has to be given to you by someone that you like. And I can tell you this right now. If God asks you to do something, you ain't going to want to do it. I can guarantee that. If God asks you to do something, you're not going to want to do it. I can guarantee it. Because if God asks you to do something, it's going to test every fiber and every core of your being. It's going to test your faith. It's going to test your character. It's going to test your will. It's going to test your wisdom. If God asks you to do something, it's going to make you be like Captain Planet. Your powers combined. When God asks you to do something, trust me, it's going to pull at everything you made of. And most people are going to run and hide. I know I did. Here goes a interview with Trump from the National Interest magazine. Trump claims Israel controlled Congress. Jews run New York Times. The most anti-Semitic president in history. Now, this statement right there, right? That statement, folks gonna say, "Oh, he racist," and dismiss it. What did he just say? He said Israel control Congress and the Jews run New York, the New York Times. Is he lying? Or is he racist? Which one are you going to pick? Is he lying or is he racist? Which one are you going to pick? Because you got a choice to make. Because you're not going to pick both. So is he lying or is he telling the truth? Is he lying or is he telling the truth? Is he racist or is he telling the truth? Because you got to pick one. I'll make it easy for y'all. You should always pick the truth. God is no respecter of person, and we should be the same way. If someone's telling us the truth, we should listen. His daughter is married to a Jewish person, but why wouldn't she be? I mean, why wouldn't you marry into what they got going on? I mean, ain't that smart? He did. But she's a perfect example I'm talking about. This is my point. You talking about what he did, but is what he's saying true? It ain't your job to follow what he does. It is what he's saying true. What happens is people say he did this, this, and this, but is he telling the truth? Because you got to operate off of the truth. So I don't care. He wore the yarmulke, he touched the stone, but what did he say? His obligation to the people is the truth. That's it. Same thing with Candace Owens, same thing with Kanye, same thing with me. The only obligation is the truth. Once somebody tells you the truth, they are right with what's going on. They told you the truth. It's your job to follow the truth. It ain't their job. They supposed to give you the truth. Tell them this, and your job is done. What demons are telling the truth? What demons? So tell me a truth that's not beneficial. We can make it foolish proof. If a demon is telling you the truth, right? What would a demon be telling you that was not beneficial if a demon is telling the truth? If the truth shall set you free and a demon is telling you the truth, then that means what? The demon's offering you freedom. So what you all believe is that if somebody tells you the truth is going to be bad. The truth ain't going to never be bad. The truth is freedom. So if a demon is telling you the truth, the demon is telling you, you got a choice to make. Again, we can't qualify the truth with the person. At the end of the day, it shouldn't matter who is saying the truth. Deborah Burks got on TV and said, we knew the snake bite wasn't going to work. Deborah Burks also said the flu had disappeared. Was she telling the truth? I don't follow Deborah Burks. I don't know what she got going on. But when she said the flu disappeared, then I know it's a setup. If she tell me that the snake bite we knew it wasn't going to work, you know it's a setup. You ain't got to follow Deborah Burks. How she live her life. What she gave you is freedom. Now I know it's a setup. What's happening is people are qualifying the truth with who's telling it to them. They use the truth. So it's your job to accept the truth. So what I'm saying is, I've never talked to a demon. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what a demon say. I don't know. I ain't never talked to them to know what they say. I'm telling you, these folks are getting on TV and telling you the truth. These folks said we have never seen what we're shutting everything down about. That should have told everybody everything, because they told you we've never seen it. It's never been isolated. They told you this. So at that moment, you ain't got to hear nothing else. We shutting everything down. We're not listening to y'all. But guess what? You qualified it or disqualified it based on who said it. You got to be no respecter of person. The truth is the truth, and the truth shall set you free. So if a demon is going to tell you the truth, the demon is giving you a choice. You shouldn't. You shouldn't. But guess what though? The beauty of accepting the truth is you know now when it's BS. So Trump told you a lot of truth. And then Trump told you what? That the snake bite was saving lives. Well, guess what? You know that's not true. See how easy that was? See how easy it is? Once you accept the truth, now when somebody lied to you, you're good because you know it's a lie. You know it's a lie. Now, Space Force been around since I was in college. They've been talking about the Space Force thing since the 80s. Like that ain't nothing new. That stuff been going on. You can look that up yourself. All this stuff been going on. We used to know about it. I was blessed when I was in college. I had a professor who was ex-military, ex-special forces, and he was a conspiracy theorist. And he kind of planted a seed that all this stuff is a setup. Back then, you could talk like that. Now you can't. Yes. So the real issue is trying to qualify the truth with the person. It's an article right here. Look. Do the Jews have too much? Do the Jews control the world? They're asking the question, and it's going to be an article. It's just going to ask you a question. What I'm trying to get you all to understand is that the Bible said we got to be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. So as wise and as cunning as the serpent was with Eve is how we got to be, but in a good way. And when it comes to being a harmless dove, we got to still walk like Jesus. We got to still walk in love, be good people. What I'm telling you all is, if you make it about the person, you're going to be deceived, because there's going to be somebody that comes in your face you're going to believe. This is the whole point of this. If they get you to hate Trump, they can get you to like somebody else. If they get you to dislike Biden, they can get you to like somebody else. So the goal is to be like God. Be no respecter of person. Right. Trump said Klaus Schwab is doing a good job. It's up to the individual to decipher what the true and is used discernment. Exactly. What does a good job mean? If Trump said Klaus Schwab is doing a good job, what is he talking about? Taking over the world, maybe? Great reset, maybe? You got to not make it about the person. But you can't even have discernment if you caught up on who said telling you the truth. Yes. Thank you, Mimi. That God will take a foolish thing to confound the wise. So my thing, what I'm telling you all is, they gave you 4 years of Trump for a reason. Because in 2020, they popped that seal open and the truth been revealed ever since. Everybody getting exposed. Look at the mere existence of Charleston White exposing everybody. The mere existence of Charleston White is exposing an entire industry. People that we thought were hard, were tough, all this stuff, everybody's being exposed. I got a funny clip of Charleston White here too. I got a funny clip. I'm crying. I got 3 people here on the screen. Y'all can't see it on YouTube, but I got Charleston White, I got Kanye, and I got Candace Owens. And the funny thing is that when you show these folks to people, there's an immediate emotional reaction. When I put up Kanye West's face, it's an immediate reaction. Charleston White, it's an immediate reaction. Candace, it's an immediate reaction. You know why? Because we are respecters of persons. Now they mad at Candace Owens because she done printed up some t-shirts to sell. So it's funny that we don't mind all the decadent people making money, but when somebody got an opposing view to this debauchery, they can't make any money. They supposed to be poor on the street. Listen, don't let nobody trick y'all into being poor for the cause of these people. All these folks say the pastor should be poor. He should have nothing. Everybody, the congregation should have money except him and all that. And guess what? When the pastor is poor, nobody listens to him. Because that's what they're going to say. And you really believed in God while you broke. Don't listen to people. People is wishy-washy, back and forth. Don't listen to nobody. These folks are emotional. They're going to set you up. You got 3 folks right here. They got the world in a frenzy. And when I say the world's in a frenzy, they got black folks in a frenzy, which really means the world's in a frenzy. Everybody watching black folks. Black people are the people of influence. So now you got 3 people. They hate Charleston White. They hate Kanye West right now. And they hate Candace Owens. But really, if you sit back and look, why do they hate these 3 people? Because they're telling the truth. And the Bible says that the truth shall set you free. So that means if you reject the truth, then you accept bondage. If you reject the truth, you accept slavery. Someone said because the truth hurts. That's right. First they love you, then they hate you, they love you again. That's how that works. Because folks are emotional. I'm going to come back on Instagram. I'm just going to cut it off and come back on. Everybody's mad. I'm back on Instagram. Everybody's mad at these 3 people. And what are they really mad at? They're mad at the truth. Even when it comes to George Floyd, Even when it comes to George Floyd, even if it comes to George Floyd, it's still about the person. What did George Floyd, forget the person, what did he actually do? What is the truth about what he actually did? He didn't do anything. We heard the man say, I swallowed too many drugs. We heard the man talking, even though they told you he was being choked. People say he was yelling out mama. He was crying out mama, but then they all said he was being choked. But don't take my word for it. All you got to do is put your knee on somebody's neck and see if they can breathe. And if they can breathe, then you know it's all a lie. But you won't do it because the lies entertain, but the truth convicts. And you know if you find out the truth, you're going to lose most of your friends, especially if you're black. Yes, the Pope was on front of the shirt, but folks don't care about the Pope being on front of the shirt. We can't even get to the front of the shirt because folks stuck on the back of the shirt. We can't even make a new point. So at the end of the day, I'm telling you all, don't make it about the person telling you the truth. Your job is to get the truth and then you run with the truth. We talk about distractions. If we're so aware of distractions, then how did 5 billion people take this snake bite? It's not making sense to me. If we so caught up on distractions and what's a distraction, then how did 5 billion people take the snake bite? Don't make it about the person. I heard a young lady last night, she said that what Kanye West said was anti-Semitic. Let's just forget what Semitic is. Let's forget what Semitic is. Just from a common sense standpoint. If people from a community control everything influential in the world, are they to be held responsible for the world not being right? If people from a community control everything that's influential in the world and the world's not being run right, are they to be held accountable? I'm just asking. Because when I hear the word anti-Semitism, I just feel like it's not a real thing. Because first we got to prove or disprove that what the person's saying is true. And Kanye told you all about George Floyd because you all need to know all the truth. Not the truth that makes you feel good, but the uncomfortable truth too. See, y'all accepted everything he said about the Jews, about the music industry, about black folk, what we got to do. But as soon as they got to George Floyd, everybody tensed up. You know why? Because that's where the freedom is. The freedom is seeing that this thing is all the way down to even that George Floyd thing not being real. This thing goes all the way down to the whole George Floyd thing even being a psyop. That's where the freedom is. That's where the freedom is. Everybody is guilty though. It's not just one community. Everybody has played a part in the destruction of the world. Everybody. All groups of people, everybody. So I don't buy the notion of racism at all. Because I know history has taught me that everybody played a part. Folks just mad that it's not their part. So at the end of the day, I don't believe in racism. It's just human nature. Because most people are going to make excuses. They're going to reject the truth. It's not real. And folks get mad when I say it. I say, no, it's not real. I was talking to a guy in the gym and he said, black people get killed by the police more than white people. I said, no, they don't. I kept asking him the same. I said, why don't they show you anybody else being killed by the police? I said, why don't they show that? He said, I don't know. He's got mad. I don't know. I don't know. He don't even want to ask himself the question because he knows if he asks himself the question, he going to come to a revelation and he going to lose most of his friends. Most folks know if I really go down the rabbit hole, I'm going to lose everybody. Most folks know if I go down this rabbit hole, I'm going to lose friends and family. That's why they don't do it. It is prejudice. And what most folks reject isn't actually people. Most folks reject culture. They don't reject people, they reject culture. You get most folks one-on-one to get along. Most folks reject culture. It's not a person. It's not people. And black folks don't understand that black culture is repulsive to most other cultures. The only folks that indulge in black culture or try to are the youth of other cultures, not the adults. So it ain't black people, it's black culture. In my neighborhood right now, my little subdivision right now, the more black folks that moved in, the more I see folks outside smoking weed, more trash on the ground. I'm just telling you. More walking up and down the street. It's culture. That when I moved in here 6 years ago and I never saw this stuff, it was totally different. Now it's totally different. So we can get mad and say they racist. No, they ain't racist. It's culture. George Floyd did a home invasion, put the gun to the woman's stomach. Where the dope, where the money? If I bring it up, folks don't even want to hear it. Folks don't even want to hear it. They done made George Floyd a hero, and y'all don't think it's a problem. It's a problem. I don't understand, but I do understand. The Bible talks about God giving the people over to a reprobate mind, and now I see how it's going to happen. Because folks are going to reject the truth so much, they're going to be anti-God. Because you do know that you reject this truth and that truth and that. Eventually, you just reject God. Because all the truth leads you right to God. Think about it. The truth leads you to God. So if you keep rejecting the truth, you'll never get to God. But in fact, you're going to reject the truth, which means you're going to reject God. Black folks will never be unified. They will never come together. Black folks will always stay in this state, except just worse. It's only going to get worse. Because Black people have made it about what it looks like and what it feels like, not about what God said. And that's the problem. But they made George Floyd this benevolent being. They made George Floyd this benevolent being. Somebody said, man, let him rest in peace. Rest in peace? The man was a criminal and they made him a hero. Rest in peace? He rested in glory. George Floyd is resting in glory. This man was a criminal and he's being celebrated more than Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. Rest in peace. He's resting in glory. So Kanye West gave y'all the truth, but he gave y'all the uncomfortable truth, that George Floyd. And y'all can accept everything except that George Floyd. But guess what? That not letting George Floyd go got y'all sticking y'all arms out and getting the infusion. That not letting George Floyd go is what's going to set y'all up for round two, because round two is coming. And all these Black folks talking about what they ain't going to do, they're going to do it again because they can't let go of George Floyd. Because George Floyd going to say, come get the snake bite. I said George Floyd's going to tell you all, come get the snake bite. Everything is your fault. Everything is your fault. Let me see real quick. Between 1997 and 2005, Floyd served 8 jail terms on various charges, including drug possession, theft, and trespass. In one of those cases, Floyd was convicted of possession of less than half a gram of crack cocaine in 2004, based on sole testimony of police officer Gerald Gaines. Later in 2019, Goins' involvement in the Harding Street raid led to Goins being investigated for a pattern of falsifying evidence, resulting in District Attorney of Harris County, Texas, requesting in April of 2021 a posthumous pardon for his particular conviction of Floyd's due to Goins' lack of credibility. So then they said they recommended that Floyd be pardoned of his conviction. Now, this is what's funny, right? George Floyd, the day that he, quote unquote, was murdered, he was doing a crime. So think about this now. He was using a counterfeit 20 and he was high on drugs. 2 crimes. and resisting arrest 3 times, 3 crimes. So y'all want me to believe that George Floyd didn't commit no crimes from 2005 to 2020. But when he gets caught, he got counterfeit money, drugs, and resisting arrest. Y'all believe that? From a common sense standpoint, do you believe he stopped doing crime in 2005 if when they caught the man, he had the counterfeit 20 and he was high? Right, Star Chuji. I keep trying to tell people, and guess what? Folks know this man wasn't strangled or choked. They know it. This is what makes deception so powerful, is that you all are doing it to yourself. In 2007, Floyd faced charges of aggravated robbery with a deadly weapon. According to investigators, he entered an apartment by impersonating a water department worker and barging in with 5 other men, then held a pistol to a woman's stomach and searched for items to steal. Floyd was arrested 3 months later in a traffic stop, and victims of the robbery identified him from a photo array. In 2009, Floyd was sentenced to 5 years in prison as part of a plea deal and was paroled 2013. So, what landed the saint and martyr George Floyd? The irony of all this is, what landed George Floyd in prison was a crime against Black Girl Magic. The main ones in the streets with their fist up and them bullhorns was Black Girl Magic. And the very thing that sent him to prison was him assaulting Black Girl Magic. And then when he gets out of prison, how does he replay Black Girl Magic? He gets a white girl. He gets some white girl magic. When he gets out of prison, how does he replay Black Girl Magic? He replays it with white girl sorcery. It's Black Girl Magic, white girl sorcery. He replays Black Girl Magic with white girl sorcery. Let's read it again, though. So in 2000, now keep in mind, in Texas, they're trying to pardon him, all this stuff to make it seem like he's a good person, but clearly the man, 2007, Floyd, and keep in mind, this is how crime works for all of you all. This is how crime works. If I'm bold enough to kick down somebody's door, then I'm doing all kind of crime. Listen to me. If I'm bold enough to kick down somebody's door and put a gun to their pregnant stomach, which is a woman, not a man, a woman's. If I'm bold enough to kick down a woman's door, put the gun to her stomach, and start stealing from her, then that means my crime is all the time and it's rampant. That means I'm a criminal. You don't just do a home invasion and that's your first time doing crime. No, you're a criminal. So George Floyd was a criminal. Yeah, he did a porn. I think he did some porn. He did porn too. But in all the midst of George Floyd, the protests and stuff and all this, now, if I show up with a white girl tomorrow, y'all gonna say, see, I knew it. He a sellout. He an agent. He a bootlicker. He for white people. But George Floyd supposed to be woke, and he had a white girl. Explain that. Now y'all can explain me having a white girl, but explain George Floyd having one. He's supposed to be the martyr, hope for black people. Why he got one? Oh, okay. So after George Floyd was released from prison, he became more involved with Rejection Houston, a Christian church and ministry, where he mentored young men, right? He tried to do good, right? In 2014, he moved to Minneapolis to help rebuild his life and find work. Soon after his arrival, he completed a 90-day rehabilitation program at Turning Point Program in North Minneapolis. So that means he was still on drugs. That means even after prison, he was still on drugs. So from 1997 to 2014, he'd been involved in crime. And he took off 5 years only because he was in prison. So we see he was still on drugs in 2014. He got his CDL's license. He passed the drug test. He got a job. His criminal past didn't pose a problem. So imagine George Floyd being a poster child for his criminal past, not even affecting his future employment. They ain't gonna say that though. They're gonna tell you it's all this stuff. They're not gonna tell you that even with a criminal record, he still was able to get his CDLs and get a job. Truck driver at that. Making good money. He passed the drug test. But he dropped out as his job at a nightclub made it different. Oh, my bad. Oh shit. I read too far. I'm sorry. Let me slow down. In 2014, Floyd moved to Minneapolis to help rebuild his life and find work. Soon after his arrival, he completed a 90-day rehabilitation program at the Turning Point Program in North Minneapolis. Floyd expressed the need for a job and took up security work at Harbor Light Center, a Salvation Army homeless shelter. Good job. He lost the job at Harbor Light and took several other jobs. How do you think he lost the job at Harbor Light? Now, Harbor Light usually hires people like George Floyd. Harbor Light, the homeless shelter, usually hires people like George Floyd. How do you think he lost that job? Doing what was right? Coming to work on time? Working hard? Being an example? Or do you think he lost the job doing the wrong thing? We know how he lost the job. Okay. Floyd hoped to earn a commercial driver's license to operate trucks. He passed the required drug tests, and administrators of the programs felt his criminal past did not pose a problem. But he dropped out as his job at the nightclub made it difficult to attend morning classes, and he felt pressure to earn money. So in other words, he couldn't attend the classes because of work at the nightclub. But before he went to the classes, he knew he was at the nightclub. Doesn't make any sense. This story don't make any sense. Floyd later moved to St. Louis Park and lived with former colleagues. Floyd continued to battle drug addiction and went through periods of use and sobriety. Now, let me say this right now. In 2019, Floyd was detained by Minneapolis police when an unlicensed car in which he was a passenger was pulled over in a traffic stop. Floyd was found with a bottle of pain pills. Officers handcuffed him and took him to the city's 3rd police precinct. Floyd told police he did not sell the pills, that they were related to his own addiction. When he appeared agitated, officers encouraged him to relax and help him calm down. They later called the ambulance as they grew worried about his condition. No charges were filed in connection with the incident. So we see something similar with him getting all hyped up and all this in 2019, where they had to call the police. So a year earlier, they had to call the police for George Floyd because of his physical condition off of him admitting being on drugs. And somebody said, where was Stephen Jackson? George Floyd had lost jobs, staying with friends, in poverty, need money. Stephen Jackson ain't nowhere in sight. I just read you all of George Floyd's stuff, and Stephen Jackson ain't nowhere in sight. Nowhere in sight. Where's Black Lives Matter? Where the activists? Where the community? Where are all the folks that was in the streets marching for George Floyd? Where they at now? If George Floyd would have been loved this much, he would have been he would still been alive. If y'all love George Floyd as much as I saw in 2020, as much as y'all tore up the most, y'all had the $3 billion worth of damage over this guy who's a dope fiend, as much energy and tears and anger and rage I saw over George Floyd, if y'all care about that man that much, he'd still be alive. He'd still be alive. So in 2019, George Floyd was in such a condition that the police had to call an ambulance. That means they're thinking that he could possibly die if he doesn't receive medical attention. This was a year prior to the 2020 event. In 2020, Floyd was working part-time as a security guard at the Conga Latin Bistro Club and began another job as a delivery driver. He lost the delivery driver job in January after being cited for driving without a valid commercial license and for being involved in a minor crash. He has a history of losing jobs due to, in this case, he ain't got the valid license. And he got in an accident. But guess what? He's probably high. He's on drugs. He's a drug addict. We have not, so all this community work and working with the youth, it's all BS if you're on drugs. Doesn't count. It doesn't count. If you're working with the community and the youth and you're on drugs doing crime, it don't count. It just sounds good to say. If I did a piece of what these folks did, y'all wouldn't respect me. If I did this much of what these folks did, y'all wouldn't respect me. Now, here we go again. In March of 2020, Floyd was hospitalized for overdosing on drugs. So 2 months prior to the famous knee on the back, he was hospitalized for a drug overdose. I've read y'all from 1997 to 2020. Tell me, what have I said good about George Floyd? I'm reading. What have I read good? What have I read that's worthy of him getting a statue? They ain't even mentioning the pornos, but we know that George Floyd in March of 2020 was hospitalized after overdosing on drugs. Nobody wants to just say he was a dope fiend because they know now if I was like George Floyd being on drugs for almost 20 years, y'all would call me almost 20 years. Wait a minute. Being on drugs over 20 years. If I was on drugs over 20 years, y'all would call me a dope fiend. But when it's George Floyd, y'all make him a hero and a martyr. I don't respect it. Let me see George Floyd when he did a porno. George Floyd adult film. Yes, his porn. Okay, so his porn name was Big Floyd, or known as well as Floyd the Landlord. Oh, y'all like role playing? Yo, Big Floyd and Floyd the Landlord. I'm sorry. This is comedy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But um we are unsure exactly how many adult films if he starred in, but we do know at least one of them from the Habib show with Kimberly Brinks. Yeah, so this is Big Floyd, um, or Floyd the Landlord. But somebody said, what hasn't he done? But we can all agree the facts are 2 months prior to him being arrested for that counterfeit 20 and him saying he swallowed too many drugs, he overdosed in March. So 2 months prior, he overdosed to that incident. So again, he was a drug addict. Now, you all want me to believe that the knee on the back made him die, but not the fact that he was a drug addict and just overdosed 2 months prior. And he said he had the Peter pandemic. So I want y'all to combine. He overdosed in March, got the Peter pandemic in April, and then he swallowed too many drugs in May. Do you think it's possible that might kill him? If he overdosed in March, he caught the Peter pandemic in April, and then he swallowed too many drugs in May, do you think it's possible that that could have killed him? Do you think it's possible that maybe his body couldn't take much more? Can we just say maybe? I want to play a video. Um, I want to play a video of what are white people superior at. Oh, one more thing. Now, one more thing. Now they got the Asian lady on the coin, Anime Wong. I know Anime Wong got some woke attached to her. Just wonder what it is. Let me see. Oh, she died young. What happened? Anime Wong, second generation Taiwanese. She was the first Chinese American actress to gain international recognition. Okay. So yeah, they got her on the on the new coin. It got to be something woke. She must have overcame racism or something. She moved to Europe and she left Hollywood in 1928 and moved to Europe. She got tired of being typecast. She returned to Hollywood during the 30s. I gotta look up Miss Wong. Seems like she got a good story. She died early though. Let me see. Why she died so early? She died of a heart attack. So she had some health issues. Anyway, so what you all don't realize is that I've been telling you all about the Chinese takeover. I told you all that 2020 was the year of the rat for the Chinese New Year. And I told you all that Joe Biden was that rat. But it's symbolism because Joe Biden was really working with China. He still is working with China. And so China is going to take over America. They are going to do it. And you all are going to see, I think I saw there was Chinese Asian police station somewhere. Hold up. Just so y'all can let y'all know what's going on. That anti-Asian hate bill was put in place so that when they come over here knocking y'all in y'all head, I'm talking to black folks. When they come over here and y'all are doing crime and y'all think it's just the white police officers and then the Asians get involved and they knock y'all upside your head, this is why that bill's in place. So you all won't be able to touch them and fight back against them. Now, if you fight back against these Asians, it's going to be considered a hate crime. Anti-Asian hate bill. That means if you fight against the Asians, it's going to be considered a hate crime. Meaning, when those Chinese officers try to arrest you and you fight against them, you're going to be accused of being racist. It's for all the black people who think it's just the white police officers doing it to y'all. Don't worry about it. They got something new coming. Now, keep in mind, the Chinese officers are going to experience what everybody else experienced with y'all doing this crime. Don't worry about it, though. Asian police station in the U.S. Let me see. China opens up police stations. Let's see. China opens up police stations in Nigeria City, over 20 other countries. Let's see. Let's see. Y'all want to see? Let's see. Let's see which one's in the U.S. Let's see. The Chinese police station, known as a service station, is located in Benin City in Nigeria and in two other countries in Africa, including Maseru and Lesotho. Dar es Salaam, no, Maseru in Lesotho and Dar es Salaam in Tanzania. Others include 35 service stations in 16 European countries, 10 service stations in 6 American countries, and 5 service stations in 5 Asian countries. So let's see what stations are in the US though. Just so I can let you all know it's coming. Y'all see it's coming, but it's coming for real though. See if I can find it. China establishing police all over Australia. Okay, let's see. Let's see this one. Let's see. I'm just trying to let you all now. Listen now. Now I'm telling you the truth. Now I just talked about George Floyd. Now I'm talking about how the Chinese is coming over here to police you all. Now you can make it about what I'm saying or make it about me. So I'm telling you the truth. You can get upset with me or make it about the truth. Let me. Okay, here we go. In North America, there is 3 stations in Toronto and 1 station in New York. So we already have a Chinese police station in liberal New York. Who gonna be next? California? Los Angeles? Now, why would the Chinese government have police stations all over the world? Why would the Chinese government have a police station in New York? Now, they can only do this stuff in these woke areas. Diversity, inclusion. Diversity. Why is there a Chinese police station in the U.S.? What are they planning? They got the Breonna Taylor bill, the George Floyd. They got all this stuff they're doing, all this. But guess what y'all didn't look at? What that anti-hate, the anti-Asian bill was really about. Anti-Asian hate bill really about. It's about when these Asians are over here and they're doing the police work because y'all are committing these crimes and they're going across y'all head or laying y'all down, you're not going to be able to fight back. It's going to be considered racist. It's going to be considered hate. And all of your favorite black celebrities with their fists in the air are going to tell you that you're wrong for fighting back against the Asians. Watch how the rhetoric changes when it's the Asian police and not the white ones. When it's the white police, it's the white folks' fault. When it's the Asian police, it's going to be your fault. Because these police going to be like 5'2". They're going to be short and small. And y'all ain't going to respect them. But guess what? When they pop one of y'all, they're going to get off easily and celebrate it. Watch how the media flip on y'all with these Chinese police. Watch how the whole media narrative change when it comes to these Chinese police. Watch how the whole narrative shift. They set y'all up with George Floyd. They set y'all up with George Floyd. They set y'all up. Chinese police station in New York. Chinese police stations all over the world in 30 different countries. You got to ask yourself why. We got the anti-Asian hate bill signed for this very reason, to protect them when they come over here terrorizing y'all. Chickens coming home to roost have never made me sad. In fact, it's made me glad. That's what Denzel said in the movie Malcolm X. I don't know if Malcolm X even said that. That's what Denzel said in the movie. I like the quote though. When them Asians come over here, I told y'all back in 2020 that Joe Biden's working with China. It's the year of the rat, and he's the rat. And I told y'all. And now we got these Chinese police stations, and they're going to pop up in all the woke places first. All the woke places, and these Chinese police going to be on these streets patrolling. If you put your hands on them, it's curtains. It's going to be a hate crime. Well, they played y'all so cold. They played y'all so cold, but you deserve it. But you deserve it. And you deserve it because you had the truth and you had the person. Trump told y'all, if Joe Biden get in office, China's going to own us. Y'all said that's racist. Now you're going to be sitting on the ground with your face on the pavement, knee on your neck, and the knee ain't the name of the Chinese person. The knee is the actual knee on your neck. Ain't nobody going to say a word. Folks going to be clapping. A person named knee going to have a knee on your neck, and everybody going to clap and celebrate. The moment y'all fight against these Chinese police officers, y'all going to prison for a hate crime. You can't call them racist because they Chinese. They set y'all up. And I'm glad. Because what black folks need is the rude awakening. Any other group of people, you can wake them up with an alarm clock. They get up. Black folks, black folks still sleep. You got to give black folks a rude awakening. How do I know this? My mother would try to get me up in the morning, a very hard sleeper, right? My mother would literally pour water on me to get me up in the morning. I'd be like, rude awakening. That's how we are. That's how we are. We need a rude awakening. We need something. We need an awakening that's very rude and very harsh. But guess what? Y'all gonna get it with these Asian police. I told y'all. I said the Chinese police coming over here. I told y'all they was coming. I told y'all Joe Biden, the year of the rat. I told y'all. And now you're not going to be able to march in the streets and protest and riot and loot, because if you marching against the Chinese police, that's racism. Y'all are not going to be able to march against the Chinese police because that's going to be considered racist. So that means y'all going to be getting beat up with no voice. But now listen, you could just stop doing crime, but you're not going to do that. You're going to test the waters, get your head knocked off, holler about racism, and then get locked up anyway. I can't wait to see it. Y'all didn't even realize that anti-Asian hate bill, look how it came about. They ran a couple of week campaign to justify signing that bill. And you ain't heard nothing since about Asians getting attacked. How is it that the Asian was getting attacked and it was so bad and now it's all gone? They said the Asian folk was getting attacked and now it's all gone. Where'd they go? They said Trump got the Asians getting attacked. They said the Chinese virus is racist, all this stuff. They even said that him stopping travel from China, where everybody said it originated from, was racist. So America was literally saying, let the people with the Peter pandemic come over to the country. That's how dumb and insane America was. Y'all was literally saying, let the people, let Ground Zero. Y'all ever seen a zombie movie? That's like saying, let the zombies come inside the compound. Just because the zombies is growling in Chinese. Just because they growling in Chinese, let them come into the camp and eat everybody up and kill everybody. That's how dumb people are with racism. That was racist. We're going to stop travel from China. That's racist. That's Ground Zero, though. In every zombie movie, you don't let the zombies come into the compound. But in our case, let them come into America. Absolutely crazy. And y'all should have knew that the masks don't work, because them Chinese folks been wearing masks for years and they still caught it. So clearly the masks don't work. But guess what? You got Trump, you got the truth. Who you going to pick? You got racism, you got the truth. Who you going to pick? Now we got Chinese police over in America. Let the Chinese zombies on the plane because they Chinese. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. He racist because he don't want the zombies to come into the compound. Y'all so, well, let them in. They outside. Come on, man. Crazy. So anyway, make a long story short, the Chinese folks coming over here and y'all have reduced yourselves. You're behind the trans. You're behind the LGBTs. You're behind the Jewish people. You're behind the immigrants. You're behind the Asians. You're behind the Hispanics. You behind the obese. You behind the homeless. Y'all are behind all the groups. You behind the dogs, the animals. Y'all are behind all the groups. Y'all have woke yourselves. Y'all was so woke, you was still asleep. Y'all was running around here so woke that you was actually in a coma. And y'all gonna get everything you all deserve. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it. You know, I love y'all. I love y'all, but I can't wait to see it though. You put a mask on your tailpipe to comment. Now, so my advice to you all is throw all of your Black Lives Matter stuff away, all your defund the police stuff away, all your pigs in blankets, smoke them like bacon, all that, throw all that stuff away. Because when it comes to these Asian police officers, if you say that stuff to them, it's going to be considered a hate crime. They have a whole bill protecting them. You're going to lose in court, take the usual plea deal, do your 3 or 4, 5 years in prison, and then come out and shut your mouth. I got a video I wanted to play before I go. And you know, I love y'all. I love y'all. I really do. I really do love y'all. I ain't black, but I still love y'all though. I ain't black with y'all, but I do love y'all. So I'm gonna play this video and ooh, got it. Thank goodness.
Think people.
I did a video about this a couple years ago, but I wanted to react to it because I saw it on somebody's page. And I think it's hilarious. But it also points out the hypocrisy. So let me see. So basically, it's a video about. The video is about are white people superior, or what are white people superior at? Now, I'm cynical, so I'm gonna say white people are obviously superior at oppressing people because black folks still say they oppressed. So clearly, white folks are superior at that because black folks claim they're oppressed. Now you can't say you oppress in one sense and then say white folks are superior. If I'm not superior to you, I can't oppress you. So make your mind up. Are they superior or not? All right, Philly girl. Thanks for coming on. But let's play it.
White people superior at? What exactly are white people superior at?
Oh, well, according to television, everything. A white man could fly. Even a white woman, she could be 4'1". She knew karate. She could take down 15 people.
What are white people superior at?
Man. Oh, God.
Y'all can't see it on YouTube, but I want you to notice the folks they're picking for this video are all your typical woke people. They're either LGBTQ, what's the like activists, a lot of women, a lot of black women, like so it's like it's the typical. They went to a woke pool to grab folks to get it to ask this question. According to television, that was actually a woman that said that, but I know her voice sounded rough because she probably smokes Newports. But the first statement is, according to television, they can fly and do all this stuff. But have we ever seen any black superheroes? One of the most popular Marvel characters is Storm. Like, have we ever seen a black superhero? Of course we have. So superheroes aren't really classified by race. Okay, so some of these statements in here, not some, all of them are really built in propaganda. They're not really real. Everything said in this video is going to be a contradiction, everything. But again, if you are oppressed by white people, then white people are superior. That's just, I'm sorry, I don't know how we dancing around that. If I'm able to oppress you, then I'm superior to you. Let's continue though. Hold on, let me see if I have it on here. Hold on. Let's see. Let's continue.
What are white people superior at?
They just keep talking, mostly about their pets.
White people love their dogs. Like, that's all you see.
Cats, letting them get on your countertops while you're cooking. Yes. I get that you love your pet, but like you need to take it everywhere, like everywhere. I guess, you know, hey, emotional support animals, I guess.
What exactly are white people superior at?
Fuck, man, like making cereal.
Casseroles.
What kind of casserole?
Tuna. It's always tuna. What do you mean? It's always tuna.
Use
Do y'all hear these answers? What are white people superior at? And they talking about cooking, cereal, pets. So if this is what white folks are superior at, then how are y'all oppressed by them? How could it be this kind of rhetoric and y'all be oppressed by this type of people that just care about pets and casserole, cats and dogs? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. It don't make any sense. But at the same time, if what they're saying is true, then how could this group of people oppress you? It just don't make any sense. It just don't make any sense. It just don't make any sense. It's about to cut off. So I'm going to just do it real quick. Hold on. Hold on, you two. I got... Dang, where's my... Man, where can I... I'm almost done, y'all. But I mean, you're right, though. Just imagine if you ask white people, just imagine asking white people, what are black people superior at? Think about it. What are black people, since we asked the question about white people, what are black people superior at? What we gonna say? Dancing? cooking, swag. What are black people superior at? Complaining, marching, rioting, and looting? Like, I'm serious. Like, you ask a group of people, what are black people superior at? Anything they said would be racist. Now, if they said black people are superior, kings and queens, gods of the earth, y'all love all that. But if they was really honest, they would probably say dancing, frying chicken, swag, dressing, hip-hop culture, playing sports, and not even all sports. Really just two sports, football and basketball. Out of all the sports, black folks dominate two sports. So that's even a myth. The biggest sport in the world is soccer. But if you was to ask a group of people, what are black folks superior at? Any answer they gave that wasn't giving y'all praise would be racist, and y'all know it. And y'all know it. Let's continue.
People superior at.
Well, according to television, everything. A white man could fly. Even a white woman, she could be 4'1". She knew karate. She could take down 15 people.
What are white people superior at?
Man.
Huh.
Oh God.
What are white people superior at?
They just keep talking, mostly about their pets.
White people love their dogs. Like that's all you see.
Cats, letting them get on your countertops while you're cooking. Yes. I get that you love your pet, but like you need to take it everywhere, like everywhere. I guess, you know, hey, emotional support animals, I guess.
What exactly are white people superior at?
Fuck, man. Like making cereal.
Casseroles.
What kind of casserole?
Tuna. It's always tuna. What do you mean? It's always tuna.
Using mayonnaise in a lot of their recipes.
Making bland food.
Unseasoned chicken.
How you gonna start whole spice wars and don't even use seasoning on your food? I mean, come on.
What exactly are white people superior at?
Smelling funky. Santa Claus.
Extreme water sports.
Corn.
This girl said smelling funky. Now, this clip right here is clearly would be considered racist if anybody did this to black people. If anybody went around asking people what black folks are superior at, the funny thing is people would actually tell the truth. They would actually say sports, dancing. Like they would actually say the truth. Entertainment. These folks are saying smelling funky, unseasoned food, care about their pets, cats on the counter, tuna casserole. A lot of great things to say about a group of people that they claim to be oppressing them. A lot of great things to say about a group of people who they claim are oppressing them. All these folks in this video are woke. All of them. They're all woke. They're all woke. They BLM. They with the LGBTQ movement. They in all the movements. These folks in this video, I guarantee they in all of the social justice movements. And when you ask them about white people, that's what they have to say. Keep in mind, all these folks you see in these movements, they all have white friends and white spouses and white lovers. The irony is that most of the folks do all that rah-rah talk about race got a white spouse at home or a white boyfriend or girlfriend. It's just funny to me. Cornel West always talking about racism and stuff and got a white spouse, a white girlfriend, whatever he got. All of them do it. Van Jones on TV. It's easier to be a man. White woman. But America's so racist that it made you want to get the oppressor. Does that make any sense? Like, white folks have done me so bad in my life that I literally went out in the world and said, let me get a white woman, let me get a white man. It doesn't make any sense because it's not true. They don't actually believe this stuff. They just get a check from this. This is a moneymaker. I can be a man. Let's continue.
Mazes.
White people are great at having fun. That's a function of white supremacy because they just don't have as many stresses as we do.
White people are very superior at their privilege and utilizing it. We do not have superior. White people have
many stresses as of white people are great at having fun. That's a function of white supremacy because they just don't have as many stresses as we do.
White people are very superior at
Hold on one second. Hold on. This man just said, hold on, this man got a mask on. This man got a mask on, y'all. This man just said that white people know how to have fun, and that's a function of white supremacy because they don't have as many stressors as we do. This man just said white people are superior at having fun because they don't have as many stressors as we do. White people having fun is a function of white supremacy. It's a function of white supremacy. Do you know how much of a he's a slave? He's a slave. He's a slave. He's a slave. He's in an interview with a mask on talking about how having fun is white supremacy. But guess what? This is the type of guy that will get in front of a microphone and tell you how racist America is. This low IQ of a person right here will tell you that America's racist. This guy right here. I don't know anybody in my life that has ever been stressed out because they identified as black. Now, I know folks stressed out because of the choice they took in life and their actions. I don't know anybody that's actually stressed out because of their skin color or perceived race. Nobody. Nobody. Let's continue.
As we do.
White people are very superior at their privilege and utilizing it. We do not have the privilege to do whatever and however we want to.
What exactly are white people superior at?
We want to.
What exactly are white people?
We do not have the privilege to do whatever and however we want to.
This man's shirt says, defund, disrupt, dismantle. This man's shirt says, defund, disrupt, and dismantle. He's talking about destroying society completely. And his number one target is white people. Not Joe Biden. Not Joe Biden. Not Pelosi. Not Klaus Schwab. Not Bill Gates. Not Jeff Bezos. Not Elon Musk. Not George Soros. Not them. He's talking about harassing and destroying the average white person minding their business. defund, disrupt, and dismantle. And all these folks are usually college educated. You know, this happens to them in college where they get real woke in college, you know.
Privilege to do whatever and however we want to.
What exactly are white people superior at?
Not getting arrested.
You know, I was driving down the street with down the highway with a friend of mine who was white. When he's like, I'm just want to pull over and pee, and I'm in the passenger seat, and I was like, please don't, because a black man thinks differently. If I pull over to the side of the road and pee, a cop is going to be right behind me to punish me.
What exactly are white people superior at?
Insecurity?
With
we want to.
What exactly are white people superior at?
Not getting arrested.
You know, I was driving down the street with down the highway with a friend of mine who was white. When he's like, I'm just want to pull over and pee, and I'm in the passenger seat, and I was like, please don't, because a black man thinks differently. If I pull over to the side of the road and pee, a cop is going to be right behind me to punish me.
I'm gonna ask y'all a serious question, ladies. When you hear men talking like this, is it a turn on or a turn off? I'm curious. Like when you hear men saying that I'm afraid the white police officer are going to punish me or white people don't get arrested, does that turn you on or turn you off? I'm curious. I'm trying to figure out. There's a huge, people say beta and alpha males aren't real, but to me, a man talking about he can't go pee on the side of the road is a, what are we talking about? Like, what type of woman wants a man that would say white people are superior at not getting arrested? How many white people get arrested every year? How many white people? Can somebody look it up? I'm looking it up now. I'm just trying to, it might be able to go faster than me. How many white people get arrested every year? So basically, I'm looking right now. This is the oh, that's juvenile justice and delinquency. I don't want that one. Okay, it's all ages. So we have 5.3 million white people get arrested every year, 1.9 million black people, 185,000 Native Americans, and 120,000 Asians. So white people get arrested. Matter of fact, white people get arrested more than any other group combined. So again, when you add context to the argument, it doesn't have any power behind it. White folks get arrested and they get killed by the police, but nobody cares. Somebody said there's nothing wrong with being supreme. The problem is feeling inferior, exactly. But this man said, I don't want to pull over. Please don't pull over because I don't want to go out. I don't want to go outside and pee and be punished by the police. Like he's a slave. Let's continue.
You know, I was driving down the street with down the highway with a friend of mine who was white. When he's like, I'm just want to pull over and pee, and I'm in the passenger seat, and I was like, please don't, because a black man thinks differently. If I pull over to the side of the road and pee, a cop is going to be right behind me to punish me.
What exactly are white people superior
Insecurity, pretending,
fear,
being fearful of nothing, being ignorant,
Blame.
Letting their egos control their every move.
privilege,
Privilege, feeling victimized,
Playing the victim.
congratulating themselves over shit that they're incompetent at, or
The irony of that, what you just heard, is they're describing black people. Think about it. I'm going to play it again and tell me they aren't describing black people. Watch this. Watch. Just watch. Watch this.
What exactly are white people superior at?
insecurity, pretending,
fear,
being fearful of nothing, being ignorant,
Blame.
Letting their egos control their every move.
privilege,
feeling victimized,
Playing the victim.
congratulating themselves over shit that they're incompetent at, or that should have already been done.
they're superior at being dicks.
What exactly are white people superior at?
Oppression.
Now tell me, y'all tell me, they are describing black people. Ignorant, fearful, want credit for doing nothing, want credit for stuff already been done, ignorant, privileged. The irony of them being asked about white people and nobody had the brains to say they aren't superior at all. Nobody's superior. Or be honest and say, if they're oppressing me, then they're superior and I'm inferior. They throwing all this stuff out. And really it's just projection. This girl said white people are dicks, right? The funny thing is, all these people talking have white friends. All these people talking, I guarantee they got a white boyfriend, a white girlfriend, a white spouse, a white lover. They all do. It's just so crazy to me that the most woke people that hate white folks so much lay down, sleep with, get real freaky with in the bed, and have children with 4 white people. It's crazy. Well, the studies I have show that there were 5.3 million white people arrested, 5.3 million, and then 1.9 million black people arrested, 185,000 Native Americans, and 120,000 Asians. So all the other races combined don't add up to the number of white people that's arrested. So it's just facts. White folks go to jail, white folks go to prison, and white folks get killed by the police, but nobody cares because the media told you all it's not important. Let's continue. You can still stay on code and do for the black community. What code? Thank you, Yugen, for the super sticker. What code do black people honor? Help me out. Give me the code that you see black people honoring. Somebody tell me. What code do black folks honor? Okay. I'm gonna get to you, the Deuce, but what code? Everybody say you got to stay on code. What code? The only code I've ever been told is you can't tell the truth in front of white people. That's what being on code is. There's no code that says be a father, be a pillar of the community, get married, raise a successful family. There's no code with that with black people. Condemn this destructive music. Condemn the things detrimental to us. That's not a code. Our code is Being on code means you can't say the truth in front of white people. Because subconsciously, we put white people's opinions above everything else, even God's. That's what being on code is. Not telling the truth in front of white people. And then going back in private and not solving the problem. That's what being on code is for black people. There is nothing positive about black folks being on code. Because black folks' code should be honoring the family, the men honoring the women honoring the men, the parents honoring the children, the community honoring the people. It's a lot of, shouldn't be leading the homicide rate, shouldn't be leading in abortion rates. Somebody just said they're going to claim that black people get arrested at a higher rate. But if we go to the crime data, you also doing more crime. Oh, I get it. You want to be able to do more crime and get arrested less. Again, what does being on code for black mean? All it means is don't tell the truth in front of white people because we don't want white folks to know the obvious. Somebody said, how can you do something you was never taught? Everybody knows right from wrong. We're not going to do that. Everybody knows right from wrong. Everybody. You ain't got to be taught right from wrong. Everybody knows it. That's why folks don't steal in the open. That's right. To be black is to be controlled. Everybody knows right from wrong. Ain't nobody running around not knowing right from wrong. If they didn't, they would do crime. They don't do crime in the open. No, who just does crime in the open besides these shootouts? When they think nobody's looking. Everybody conceals the dirt they do for a reason. No matter how they was raised, everybody responds to doing bad the same. They do it in secret. You ever see homeless folks having sex? No. You know why? Because they know it's wrong to have sex out in the open. That's why. Everybody know right from wrong. But I get it. They tell you all that because black folks went through slavery, they don't know right from wrong. It's Stockholm syndrome. It's every other excuse. But y'all want me to stay on code. Okay.
Dicks.
What exactly are white people superior at?
Oppression, gaslighting,
Lack of empathy.
intellectualizing oppression.
Did I say oppression?
They're just creatively thinking of new ways of like always staying one step ahead of other people. We get rid of slave catchers, then let's just expand the police force. Like that stuff to me is wild.
What exactly are white people superior at?
Making us believe that we don't matter.
Believing that they're superior.
I got a question. I got two questions. First question is, who believes that getting rid of the police is going to benefit the black community? Who actually believes that? Who even believes scaling back the police is going to benefit the black community? Because we got the stats. The police scaled back in 2020, and we saw what happened. So how did the violence and crime go up in the black community when the police stepped back? That don't make any sense. And my second question is, what white person has told anyone that thinks they're black that you was inferior? Please tell me. What white person has ever told you in your life that you was inferior? What show on television? What commentator? Who ever told you all that was white that y'all was inferior? Who told y'all that? Give me a white person that said that. Don't say Trump because he didn't say that. So tell me, now Joe Biden said y'all didn't have enough sense to go out there and register for the jab, or the vote. That's what Biden said. So he actually said y'all was inferior mentally. So y'all didn't have diverse attitudes, diverse thinking. Joe Biden actually said that. But forget him. What white person, because y'all ain't mad at him, what white person told you all that you were inferior? Tell me what they said. Tell me what a white person said that told you that you was inferior. Tell me what white person came up to you and said, you're inferior. Tell me, I don't want to hear nothing else from nobody. Tell me what white person ever in your life told you that you were inferior. I'm waiting for somebody to tell me, because y'all just talking. Whitewashing history. Now, think about this now. Whitewashing history as if history don't involve white people. African history got white folks in it. Everybody's history got white folks in it. So how are white people whitewashing history in China? U.S. history is filled with black people and black slaves. It's filled with it. So explain to me what white person came to you and said, you are inferior. I'm not talking about nothing fictitious. I want to know what white person came down from that horse, took that white hood off and said, you are inferior. I've been living in Georgia all this time, and I've never, ever been called any kind of slur by anybody white. Now, I done been called coon and bootlicker and all that stuff from black folks, but I ain't never been called that from the white folks, not in the South. So my question is, if a white person is not telling you that you're inferior, then what are you drawing from their conversation to make you believe they're saying that to you? You would have to inferior. If a person don't tell you that you ugly, if a person says, she ain't my type. I say, she ain't my type. And she says, he think I'm ugly. That means she feels ugly. So if a white person says something and you say, they're telling me I'm inferior, that means you feel inferior. Donald Trump got on stage and said, what do you all have to lose? And all these woke black folks said that was racism. I said, how is that racism? Y'all been voting Democratic all this time and been getting pissed on. Donald Trump said, clearly, what I'm bringing can't be worse than that. What do you have to lose? And black folks said it was racist. So tell me, so that lets me know y'all not able to discern well on what's being called inferior and what's being called nothing. Joe Biden said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. And that wasn't looked at you as y'all was inferior. He wasn't talking down to you all. You didn't feel inferior then. So if Joe Biden got on TV and Joe Biden said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black, and that didn't make you feel inferior, tell me, what did a white person say make you feel inferior then? Because it wasn't Joe Biden. I don't understand that. I don't get it. I don't get it. These people, y'all can't show me on one, you can't tell me no incident of a white person telling y'all to change your hair, that you was inferior, that you can't be yourself. Because when I talk to y'all, y'all be telling me, I wish a white person would. I can ask y'all a question right now. What would you do if a white person came up to you and said you were inferior? I wish they would say that to me. I'll die about it. That means you ain't inferior then. If you got that much buck about you, your chest all poked out, what you ain't gonna take, you ain't inferior then. You ain't oppressed either. These white folks ain't never told y'all this stuff ever in y'all life. This all comes from movies, Hollywood. Hollywood give y'all a slave movie every year. Keep reminding y'all. And y'all ain't never experienced slavery. Y'all ain't never even held a whip in y'all hand. You ain't ever been tied to nothing unless y'all was getting freaky. You only got tied up by somebody black when y'all was getting freaky. What white person told you all that you were inferior? And I still ain't got an answer. Somebody said, I have traveled. You know what's funny about y'all? I look like the stereotypical black person. Me. I do. So when I come into the scene, there's no mistake on who I am to the outside world. We can all agree to this, right? I'm not passive for nothing. People look at me and assume I'm this. So my question is, and I have traveled. So I've been around the world. And the funny thing is, why do I get treated great and y'all get treated bad? Why do I get treated good when I leave the country like a king? And I ain't talking about going to the Dominican Republic or Brazil, and y'all don't. Why are folks looking at y'all and saying, let's pick on them, but looking at him and saying, let's respect him? What's the difference? What's the difference? Y'all tell me, what's the difference? It's crazy to me. I done been everywhere and been treated excellent with respect. Oh, I know what y'all want. Y'all want rose petals? Y'all want a red car? What do y'all want? What do y'all want? Oh, I know what y'all want. Y'all want folks to make y'all feel good about feeling inferior. They shouldn't do it, and I wouldn't do it. Y'all have a slave mentality. People smile at me. Babies smile at me. All races of babies smile at me. Dogs want to come play with me and lick. So how is it I'm walking through this world looking how I look, and even the animals want to have fun with me? But y'all walking around, even the birds and dogs racist. What are y'all giving off to people to make them treat you this way? It's something about you. Because I go everywhere, talk to everybody. I go everywhere and talk to everybody. And I never have any problems. So how are y'all going to places, spending y'all money, people spitting in y'all face? Something ain't right. Something ain't right. I don't get disrespected when I go out places. I can go to the most redneck place and have been and ain't got no problems. No threats, no nothing. I'm trying to figure out, how are y'all experiencing all this stuff? Maybe it's just you. Maybe somebody said you got low vibrations. And the low vibration feeds off low vibration. So what y'all do is, y'all vibrations are so low that you attracting other low vibrational beings around you. That's your problem. That's your real problem. But that ain't based on race. That's based on you. You got low vibration. Raise your vibrations up. That music y'all love, stop listening to it. Because what happens is, y'all consume your mind with the low vibrational music. It gets in your subconscious, gets in your soul. Then you go out into the world, and you go to the shade room and CNN too. So your mind, your body's all discombobulated. You ain't talking to God. So you go out there with a complex, feeling inferior. So now when the bird is flying to use the bathroom, the bird gonna miss me and hit you. Raise your vibrations up. That's your problem. I'm like, what world are these folks living in? In what world? I don't have any problems. Let y'all tell it. Y'all walking down the street and y'all getting chased by a slave catcher. That's how y'all be sounding. All you got to do is just travels outside the country. I did. All you got to do is come down south. I am. All you got to do is be around white folks. I am. All you got to do is let them know you're black. Y'all just keep moving the cheese, the cheddar biscuits. Y'all just keep moving the cheddar biscuits. You just keep moving them. Y'all a bunch of slaves, man. Raise your vibrations up. As a person thinketh, so are they. So your mind got to be right. Y'all have a low view of yourself. Your mind, you are a low vibrational being. And you eat bad too. You can't listen to drill rap and eat fried chicken. Something got to give. You can't listen to demonic music and eat fried chicken. Something got to give. You can't listen to demonic music, eat fried chicken and donuts and pizza. Something's going to give. Something going to give. Raise your vibrations. You are not inferior. White people don't have monopoly on success. What y'all should be doing is, instead of criticizing white people, look at their culture. Look how white folks are able to live in communities and not kill each other. Able to have parties, nobody gets shot up. Able to have a simple gathering and nobody gets shot up. I remember black folks started the crate challenge, and the crate challenge ended with shootouts. Folks was getting killed at the crate challenge. How did y'all go from stealing milk carton crates to getting killed? Y'all went from stacking up crates to having shootouts at the crate challenge. Wasn't a white person in sight because white folks wasn't doing that. Climbing on crates and they fall down and breaking their hip, can't go to work, lost your job. What happened? Oh, the crate challenge. Breaking arms and legs, paying dope fiends and drunks to go up there and hurt themselves. And then after all that destruction and death, y'all gonna have shootouts to cap it off. People dying at the crate challenge, but white people. I don't want to hear that mess. Raise your vibrations up. You are made in God's image. Stop lowering yourself down with this foolishness. Take them weaves off your head. This for the women. And the men, stop trying to live your life through these athletes and these rappers because it ain't going to work. You are made in God's image. You should be seeking things on the highest level. These white folks is picking on us. All you got to do is, I ain't got to do nothing. I get treated with respect and honor, dignity. I don't know what world y'all living in. I couldn't live in y'all world. I'd have snapped. I'd have went berserk. If I was in y'all world where I went outside and got oppressed every day, I would go berserk. That's what I would do if it was happening to me. But I know y'all weak. And what y'all do is y'all claim oppression. But you ain't oppressed. Go to China. Ask them, are they oppressed? See what happened to you. Somebody said the milkman retaliated. Let's continue.
Making us believe that we don't matter.
Believing that they're superior.
Feeling superior.
That we don't matter.
This dude, look at the size of his head, pause, and look at his shoulders. Like, he don't even match his body. This dude got the funniest look. Like, his head is huge, but his body is like small. Like, it's not even like it's even real. Now look at his body is like this, but his head is huge. It's crazy. He got a big water head. Goodness. The hat, I mean, it's just his head is bigger than his body. Like, how he even hold his neck up? He ain't got a big neck. He's just like, that's tough. I just thought his head was just regular. It's just a big head, man. It's large. He got a little Black Lives Matter pin on his shirt, but he just got a big head. I don't think his head is this huge. Like it's just you got like small shoulders and a big head. That's a bad body to have because you're gonna always be off balance. Let's continue.
Believing that they're superior.
Feeling superior.
Thinking they're superior.
Thinking that they're superior.
Thinking that they are superior.
Self-delusion. Controlling the narrative.
Believing their own press.
Mark.
I told you I was correct. Now, how does someone not say it? How does someone think they're superior? How does someone think that they're superior? How do you go inside their brain and say they think they're superior? The only way that happens is if you feel inferior. Because listen, when I'm outside in the real world, walking around, I don't look at people and think they think they're superior to me. Like, how does your mind even get to that point? That means you're walking around every day, all day, feeling inferior, but it happens because everything that you consume is low vibrational. Everything you consume is low vibrational. Stop consuming all this low vibrational stuff. This was funny. Tell me, what is racism? Racism itself is economic. Racism is an economic issue. That means a person has to have the power to practice racism. A white person saying that you are a monkey isn't racism. A white person not allowing you to live somewhere or to work somewhere is racism. So what y'all experience is what you think is a white person not liking you. No white person ever told you all you couldn't do something. Never. No white person has told nobody on this chat right now that you couldn't do nothing because you were black. Now, maybe no, because you didn't have enough money. Maybe no, because of your credit. Maybe no, because of even your dress code. But they have never told you that you couldn't do it because you were black. See, back in the day, they just told you, we don't want no niggers over here, period. That's racism. What y'all are experiencing is people not want to be around y'all. That's something different. No white person has ever told you all you couldn't do something because you was black. Now, the media has told you that, and Hollywood's told you that, but you ain't never really experienced it, though. You ain't experienced it. If anybody should experience racism, it should be me. Because let y'all tell it, I'm the greatest threat to white people, the strong black man. So if I ain't experiencing it, ain't no way in the world you experiencing it. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Racism is an economic issue. The person has to have power to practice racism. So, for example, when Joe Biden told you all, get this shot or else, and then he put the campaign for the black community, that's racism. Specifically, when Kim Kardashian and her mama, when the Clintons told the Kardashians, we need y'all to make sure that black folks get that snake bite, that's racism. When the Kardashians make the call to get a black influence to get black folks to get them snake bite, that's racism. What y'all are experiencing is not that. You ain't experiencing that. Y'all are experiencing somebody cutting you off in traffic and you saying they racist. Or the manager telling you you can't bring this product back and you saying it's racist. That ain't racism. That's called inconvenience. Now, we done seen racism. When Bill Gates say, I'm doing population control and I'm gonna start in Africa, That's racism. Dr. Fauci saying, we got somebody black on the team. That's racism. What y'all are talking about is inconvenience. Again, get rid of your low vibrational thinking. I can talk to you all and I know that your thought process every day is low vibrational. You don't think on a higher self because every time you think higher, it's a white person looking at you. What are you doing up here? Get back down there. Every time you all think higher, it's a white person like this. You better get back down there. So y'all ain't experiencing racism. Ain't nobody white bothering y'all. So if y'all want to attack racism, go down to the White House and start protesting and marching like you did for George Floyd. Y'all tore the streets up, $3 billion worth of damage for racism. Joe Biden got in office and been racist, and y'all have done nothing. So don't tell me about no racism. Until I see y'all protesting like you did for George Floyd with Joe Biden, then I'll listen to you. But until then, don't mention nothing about no racism. That ain't also racist. It's only racism. It's only racism when it's economic. You got to be able to practice racism. Here goes an example of low vibrational thinking. They'll tell you there's only 3 black astronauts in the world. And they'll get on TV and say, you see, there's inequality in the space industry. But when we go to the numbers, there's only 10 people that applied to be astronauts that were black. You see, the context gets rid of the emotion. There were only 10 astronauts that applied to be astronauts that were black, and there are only 3. That makes sense because that's context. They're telling you that because you don't see any black astronauts, the industry is racist. That's foolish. Again, get your mind out of low vibrational thinking. Stop thinking that someone is out there oppressing you. Raise your vibrations up. You are made in God's image. That means nobody on this earth has any power over you unless you give it to them. So if white people are picking on you, you have a decision to make. Either you're going to stop being a coward and fight back, or you're going to change your thinking and live a happy life. No, it's foolish thinking it's racism is what makes it foolish. That's not racism. I'm talking about this simple math. It's not racism. You got a small percentage of people applying for this industry or field. Black folks make up 12% of the population. So all you can expect to see is 12% in any arena. Y'all want to see 100%, which is foolish. Because you feel bad. You feel low, you feel less than. I'm here to tell you, not on my watch. I don't do pity parties. I don't do victimization, victimhood. Ain't no racism. Because if it was, y'all would have said something about Joe Biden, y'all didn't. Or Bill Gates. Or Klaus Schwab. So you can't pick and choose what racism is based on how you feel. That's not how that works. Either it is or it isn't. And based on what I've seen over the past 2.5 years, your own people sold you out. You didn't say nothing. You ain't canceled near a black person. Y'all still support these black folks that sold y'all out. You got somebody way in the country on a dirt floor talking about, I'm going to come to America for a better life. I thought it was racist. I don't care about that. The only folks complaining about racism are black people being led by people that ain't even from here. Most of these black folks in charge ain't even from America. They selling y'all a dream. Walking around feeling inferior, you oppressed. To say America is racist is to say that you're oppressed. To say America is racist is to say that you're oppressed. And if you're oppressed, you are automatically inferior. I got somebody, it's not white people, it's the white system. It's not white people, it's the white system. But all your black leaders oppress you though. All these Democratic mayors in these cities oppress black people. Like, who are y'all mad at? Oh, I get it. You're not mad at them. You mad at the folks you can't even see. Listen, man, raise your thinking. You're low vibrational. Raise your thinking. You attract negative stuff because you're thinking negative. Raise your thinking. I'm giving y'all advice. Raise your thinking. I'm telling you right now, them Chinese troops, them Chinese police are coming. And they don't care about your blackness. Just telling you, they're not going to care. Let's continue.
Marketing of white superiority.
Whether you are Republican, whether you're Democrat, whether you're conservative, like white people are really good at upholding white supremacy.
How about claiming that, they are actually a whole separate race when actually white DNA comes from
Superiority.
Whether you are Republican, whether you're Democrat, whether you're conservative, like white people are really good at upholding white supremacy.
How about claiming that, they are actually a whole separate race when actually white DNA comes from the black?
First of all, white people tell y'all all the time, we all the same, we don't see color. Y'all don't like that. So it ain't white folks saying they're a separate race. That's y'all doing that. White folks say all the time, we all the same, we all human, we don't see color, and y'all say that's racist. So y'all are pushing this whole they a separate race thing. Not them, that's black folks doing that. We can agree with that. That's black folks doing that. And y'all seem to think that the folks at the top ain't black. What makes y'all think that? I'll tell you, because you feel inferior. Your mind can't even concede the possibility that the people at the very top are black. You can't even, your mind can't even get to that level. That the folks at the very top are black. You can't, your mind is so inferior and you are so dumbed down and low vibrational that you can't even consider the fact that maybe the folks pulling all the strings are black at the very top. Because ask yourself, how does everything work on you? Out of all the other races, everything works on black people. How? Oh, maybe, just maybe, the folks at the very top might be black. Because we know that in the beginning of the Bible, wasn't nobody white that was there. So when God flooded the earth, it wasn't no white folks there. Wasn't no white folks in the garden. Wasn't no white angels. Wasn't no white folks nowhere. So all the stuff that happened was from black folks. So I'm trying to figure out how y'all blaming white folks now if they came after the party. Okay. Okay. Y'all don't even want to consider the fact that if the devil is black, right? If the devil is black, then what makes you think his bloodline ain't black? If the devil got a bloodline on this earth, what makes you think his bloodline ain't black? Why? Because they show you white? We all know they always show you the opposite. They always show you the opposite. So they got you thinking it's white, but it's really black at the top. Let's continue. But y'all can't even venture out there because your mind is so low vibrate. Your mind is so low, you can't even conceive that y'all would be at the top doing all this stuff. You can't even go that far. Let's continue.
Black female.
So what exactly are white people superior at?
Honey, lying, stealing, and cheating.
Manipulation.
Withholding information.
Lying?
Telling lies.
What kind of lies?
The lies of history. They say that history is written by the victor, but
The victor could be replaced by the colonizer.
What are white people superior at?
Conquering.
Imperialism.
Imperialism.
Colonizer.
This is what's funny, right? What history has white folks lied about? What history? Because the Democrats and liberals only care about y'all being enslaved. So what did white folks lie about when it came to history? Tell me. What they lie about? What did white folks lie about when it came to history? Y'all only knew about slavery because white people told you. So what did white folks lie about? Y'all only go back to slavery. You only care about slavery. So what did white folks lie about slavery? What did white people lie about when it came to slavery? If I come and say there wasn't no slave ships, they lied, y'all get mad at me. White folks say you came on a slave ship over here. So who you gonna believe? The white people. So what did white folks lie about? So if white folks lied about all of it, then how do you believe any of it then? 99% of these books written by white people. 99% of these books are written by white people. And the folks y'all following that's black read the white folks' books. They didn't lie about the Tulsa riots though. Why y'all making up? This is my problem with black people. Black folks are dishonest. White people have not lied about the Tulsa massacre. They have not lied about it. What are y'all talking about? What are y'all talking about? Nobody lied about what happened in Tulsa, Oklahoma, Black Wall Street. Nobody lied about it. Nobody. That is a bold-faced lie. Nobody lied about Tulsa. Now go look up how much Tulsa was actually worth, though. How much money the city really had. Don't take my word for it because y'all don't read nothing. I read. Go look at how much that Black Wall Street was really worth. You're gonna be shocked. Who dropped the bombs on the U.S.? The U.S. military dropped the bombs on them. The U.S. military. That's who did it. I know the history. Now, my question is, has it happened since? And what y'all do about it? Oh, okay. I didn't think so. Oh, what's up, Washington? What's up? How that watermelon taste? You know, y'all scared to eat watermelon in front of, he type of guy that he's scared to eat watermelon in public. Imagine you go to a place and these white folks ain't even looking at you and you scared to eat watermelon. Boy, listen, when I tell you these liberals got y'all mind in a bind, and I'm talking about in a bind, they got y'all mad at the average white person, and Joe Biden just said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. And y'all broke the record. Y'all have no credibility talking about racism ever again in life. Ever. It's about to cut off here on Instagram. It's about to cut off. Hey, listen, I love y'all. Oh man, you in the A? Oh snap, my boy is in the A. That's what's up, man. Hey, you about to blow up down here with your art. No, I'm talking about you about to blow up. Y'all follow Art Jordan, man. No, it didn't go down. The timer ran out. They got me on the timer. But y'all follow Art Jordan, man. You about to blow up down here for real. You know. But listen, I love y'all. I'm already over my time. It's 3 hours. I've been on here too long. But I may finish this video another time. But you know, I thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank y'all for the badges. Thank y'all for the super chats and all this stuff. Y'all just so wonderful, man. I just thank y'all so much. Yeah. Thank y'all so much. Anyway, I'll see y'all probably on Sunday. I love y'all. And again, y'all, no low vibrational thoughts. We are made in God's image, wonderfully and fearfully made. You really can't be stopped. You really can't. Y'all just think on a higher plane. Y'all can't be stopped. Anyway, I love y'all. Thank y'all.